What's up, everybody? Nate here. So Elon Musk is known for saying some pretty crazy things on Twitter, and he's been known to throw shade when shade is appropriate, at least in his eyes. There's even a fake Elon Musk account called Bored Elon that essentially will post some pretty crazy things, and honestly, sometimes they're kind of believable. Elon, you gotta chill with the tweets, man. But in 2022, it looks like Elon Musk might not be able to post so many crazy things on his Twitter account or pretty much anywhere on the internet anymore, as he is blasting the federal government and the SEC for allegedly censoring him online. Elon Musk is saying that the SEC is essentially attempting to chill his free speech that he has with shareholders and his followers online. And what they're doing to him right now is a calculated effort to muzzle and harass him in 2022. And all of this could end up landing Elon Musk in some serious trouble with government regulators and the SEC. So today I want to talk all about what is going on with Elon Musk and the SEC right now and what that is going to mean for the stock market and the future of freedom of speech in America. Because Elon Musk is saying that he has a right to say all of the things that he has over the past 2 years, but the SEC and the federal government would not agree. But before I break all of this down, if you haven't already, do me a quick favor and hit, smash, or destroy that thumbs up button below and ring that notification bell too. Those two things are completely free and they help to show me that you like this video and that you want to see even more just like it. Thank you so much for doing that. And now let's talk all about what is going on with Elon Musk and the SEC. So to start, let me read you a quote that is directly from Elon Musk's lawyer here. Alex Spiro says, quote, "The SEC seems to be targeting Mr. Musk and Tesla for unrelenting investigation, largely because Mr. Musk remains an outspoken critic of the government." In addition, he said, "The SEC has broken its promises, weaponizing the consent decree by using it to try to muzzle and harass Mr. Musk and Tesla." And then finally, the SEC's outsized efforts seem calculated to chill his exercise of First Amendment rights rather than to enforce generally applicable laws in an even-handed fashion. Now, this comes all after the SEC actually submitted a subpoena for Tesla and Elon Musk back in November of 2021. Tesla just recently disclosed this measure all the way in February of this year. Now, where did this all come from? Well, of course, it came from an Elon Musk tweet. He has gotten in trouble in the past for his tweets, like the time in 2018 when he basically told all of his Twitter followers that he was considering taking Tesla private at $420 and that the funding had been secured for it. In September of that year, the SEC actually charged him with false and misleading statements to his shareholders. This got Elon Musk in a world of trouble because after he tweeted that, stock in Tesla ended up going up and down and was extremely volatile for about a month. And the reason it was a little bit of an issue back then is because Elon Musk is the primary shareholder in Tesla. Not only that, but he is the CEO, so the things that he says and does has a massive impact over shareholders and the market in general. In addition, that is super private and concealed information. He can't just publicly say that stuff to everybody online because not everybody is a owner in Tesla. You see, when you buy a share of a company, you're actually buying an ownership of that company. That really doesn't mean much, but what it ultimately means is you do have some voting rights within the company. And you get to decide some things like the board of directors and the direction that the company takes in the future. Now, if you only own one share of Tesla, that's not going to give you a ton of voting rights. But if you own 10,000 shares, well, you might have a bigger say in what happens with the company. Now, if you own millions of shares like Elon Musk does, then that gives you pretty much absolute control. But the issue the SEC had was this was nobody's business, and this is something that needed to be voted on by its board of directors. Not only that, but it needed to be talked about before it was public knowledge. Sometimes these things get leaked. You know, news agencies will talk about them, and that can make the stock go up and down, but because it was directly coming from Elon Musk himself, that's kind of a problem. Because of that suit, Elon Musk and Tesla had to pay $20 million each, and on top of that, that, Tesla had to pay an additional $20 million in fines. But that's not all. Tesla also had to put in a system that monitors the way that Elon Musk communicates with the public, whether it's online or in an interview. In addition, Tesla had to appoint 2 independent members to its board of directors. And Elon Musk was forced to step down as the company's chairman for at least 3 years. Now things are kind of coming back again, because in November 2021, Elon Musk asked his tens of millions of Twitter followers if he should sell roughly 10% of his Tesla stock. The vast majority of them voted yes. But the problem is, a major portion of the stock that he was going to sell was all part of a plan that he struck with his own company back in September of 2021. So basically, all of those shares were going to be sold anyway as a part of the deal. So he didn't really need the Twitter voting here. So the question is, why exactly would he do that? Well, Elon Musk was probably just trying to be funny and probably just trying to strike up some really good PR for him and his company. But what I really want to know is, what would happen if they actually voted no, that he shouldn't sell those stock, and then he ended up doing so anyway? Because of what has happened with Elon Musk in the past, the SEC and this new subpoena is basically saying that Tesla and Elon Musk broke their compliance deal with the SEC that they struck back in 2019. Now, we don't actually know what was in that settlement agreement, but we can assume that it had to do something with not misleading shareholders. And in this case, that's really the question between what happened in 2018 and what happened in 2021. Is Elon Musk misleading shareholders by kind of telling him exactly what he's going to do with his stock and his company? So now this kind of goes into what Elon Musk's lawyer was saying. It's all about free speech here. So let me give you 2 different perspectives. The first is all about freedom of speech and what we can and can't say in a public setting. For Elon Musk, he may be a public figure, but he's not a public official, meaning he has the freedom to say whatever he wants, whether it be online or in person, as long as it doesn't hurt or get in the way of anyone else's rights. So from his perspective, he can go on Twitter and tweet whatever he wants. And it's not his fault if the followers and the shareholders of his company essentially go crazy over his tweets. He's just tweeting what he wants to tweet. And remember, nothing is official on Twitter. I mean, we're talking about social media here. Twitter is not an official voting platform. So whether his followers want him to sell 10% of his stock or not, that doesn't really matter. Everyone could have said 100% no, and he still could have done whatever he wants with his stock, because that is not the rule of law. Same with what he said about taking Tesla private back in 2018. He can say that, but that doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. The board of directors are ultimately the ones that are going to make that decision. So that is one perspective. Now let's discuss the complete opposite perspective here. This one kind of goes hand in hand with Elon Musk being a public figure. Public figures and celebrities have a big draw over their own communities, and I would think it's safe to say that a Twitter following of tens of millions of people is a pretty big community. Big celebrities and people online have influence. That's why people follow them. They want to see those influencers and people in power positions in our society. So when these people in those positions say things, then that influences other people, whether they intended to or not. And if Elon Musk says that he's going to take his company private or sell 10% of his stock, well, people are going to react to that. It's not like if some random person on YouTube like me said something crazy like they were going to sell 10% of their stock. Nobody really cares what I think. But it's a little bit different when you are one of the wealthiest people in the world and CEO of one of the most valuable companies on the planet. Not only that, but you're one of the most followed individuals online. At that point, you kind of have to have some discretion with your platform, because you could essentially cause some serious problems. And while no actual charges have been put on Elon Musk about his tweets on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, many experts and investors have basically accused him of insider trading in the cryptocurrency market. Because based on one single Elon Musk tweet, whether it's even doable or not, that could drastically affect the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Like when he said he was going to accept Dogecoin and Bitcoin Bitcoin as a viable payment option for merchandise and actual Tesla vehicles. The price of Bitcoin exploded, and Dogecoin essentially went from being worth less than a penny to nearly 75 cents in value, making literal Dogecoin millionaires off of just a few tweets from Elon Musk in his community. What I'm saying here is there's actual actions beyond just the tweets. It's not like somebody is tweeting out into the void. He is communicating with millions of different people, which is why the SEC has a problem with a lot of the things that he says involving Tesla. When Elon Musk tweeted out that he was going to sell around 10% of his stock, it wasn't public knowledge to the vast majority of people that this was all part of a deal that he executed and was going to do anyway. That means for the vast majority of investors, they believe that they have an influence over what Elon Musk is going to do with his shares in Tesla. And 10% of his stock is a massive chunk, especially since he owns millions of shares. So what he's basically saying is, I'm about to sell a bunch of shares in Tesla, which means the price of Tesla is going to dip just a little bit, which means you can actually buy shares of Tesla for a little bit cheaper, and there's going to be a lot more because I'm selling so many. Meaning all of those people who voted on that poll and know about this have kind of a little bit of insider information on what they're going to do with their trades. That is kind of highly illegal, but it rides the line because it's only on Twitter. Technically, he didn't sell anything that he wasn't promising to do so before. But what it does is mislead people, and that is a problem in the SEC's eyes. Now, this is obviously a super complicated issue because we have a lot of freedom of speech rights in this country. But what I want to say about that is the United States, while it is arguably one of the most free countries in the world, our freedoms as far as freedom of speech goes and everything else in our Constitution and Bill of Rights is limited. Even though you have the freedom of speech, there are still things that you are limited in saying, like you can't threaten people or you can't organize treason against the government. So your freedoms are limited, and they become even more limited the bigger the platform that you have. Nowadays, you can't just say whatever you want anymore. And in a lot of cases, that is definitely a good thing because for some people, I don't want to know what you're thinking. But what you say can ultimately lead to actions by others. So you have to be careful with your platform if you're going to start developing it. For the most part, Elon Musk can say whatever he wants. However, when it starts manipulating the stock market and shares of his own company, well, that's kind of a problem. So in a way, if he's not going to censor himself, the SEC and the federal government are going to have to do that for the security and safety of our markets and public. And honestly, I wish it didn't have to be that way, but I also wish that Elon Musk didn't say wild and crazy things on Twitter. Both things can be true at the same time. And as far as this new investigation and subpoena goes, we don't have too much more information on it now. I will definitely keep you updated as new details come out. If it's anything like last time, Elon Musk is in for a legal battle ahead of him, and Tesla is in for a legal battle. I don't think it's going to amount to much though. However, this could have some serious implications over Twitter, its policies, and Elon Musk's online presence in general. Because of tweets like these, the SEC and the federal government may essentially ban him from being online. And that's not something that's completely out of the question, because these social media giants actually did the same thing to former President Donald Trump last year. So if they did it once, they can do it again. And even if the federal government doesn't make them, they're private companies. They can do whatever they want with their user base. If they want to ban somebody, they can do that. I'm sure some extra lawsuits will come from that if that actually happens, but for now, Elon Musk is in a world of trouble. So he might want to tone it down on his tweets for at least a little while. But now I want to hear from you on this issue. What do you think about this whole situation between Elon Musk and the SEC? Ultimately, who do you think is right? Do you think Elon Musk has the right to say whatever he wants online, no matter what? Or do you think the SEC has a case here that he should be limited because of his public presence and his power in the world? Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below before you go. But that is it for today's business and financial news breakdown. I hope you liked this video. If you want to stay up to date with all of the top business and financial news from around the country, our team puts together a free daily newsletter newsletter, and you can subscribe to it right here. And if you want to stay up to date with me and everything else that's happening in the business and financial world, I'm putting out videos 7 days a week over here. And I've actually got another video ready for you right now, so be sure to check out that before you go. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind out there, and I'll see you all in the next one.